Hello, everyone. I'm back again with some tech news. And today I want to talk about the new iPhone. And this is one that's kind of interesting because for a long time it's been the whole kind of meme, I guess, of here's the new Apple launch event. They're going to announce a longer battery life and some kind of random software update or something. And it's like nothing really new. And that's been the case for, I don't know, almost 3 generations now, even more than that. There's been no like real kind of new change that's made a new iPhone kind of interesting or at least worth an upgrade until the iPhone 16. This is one where I think depending on who you are, you could kind of be pulled one way or another depending on what you think of it. So I'm going to pull up this article. Sorry, this article has a lot of ads, so sorry about that. But the title of this article is basically what I'm talking about, though. New iPhone 16 will have 2 new buttons. Here's what they do, and the buttons is the big thing that I think is interesting and new to this iPhone that makes it worth buying at least, and not necessarily, maybe not upgrading, but depending on who you are, maybe upgrading. And I'll get into that in just a second. So there's other things that are new with this iPhone, and they're doing some AI stuff that's coming out, and there's like titanium and blah, 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 like all this kind of stuff that I don't really care about. It's not really new in the way of hardware enough to be interesting, or software. And I'm kind of over AI and all those kind of other things too. I'm gonna get that ad out of the way. It's flashing, but it's been like that for a little while now. But these 2 buttons on here aren't necessarily revolutionary. One more than the other. So the first one that you can see on the top near the volume buttons that used to be the silent button on the older iPhone models has been switched to I think it's called the action button. Yeah, action button, where you can program it to do whatever you'd like. And that's pretty cool in itself. And I think other phones have had this in some sense or another, so I don't think that's super new. I knew that the older Pixels and things, like you could program, I think, to a button, and you could like double tap to open the camera, so you kind of had an action sense in that. Maybe not to this level of just having one button to do whatever you want it to do, but I for one think that's pretty cool, because just being able to have something on the fly, like for once, the biggest thing for me is the camera, because I hate opening my phone, like opening the camera app and being like, okay, let's try, just clicking a button and having it like pull up, that's really cool. And the other one, which this one is actually kind of innovative, this other button called the camera control button. I'm pretty sure you can click it to open the camera anyways, so I don't think you would need to map it to the action button. I think I saw that in the Marcus Brownlee video, but I have not had my hands on it yet, so I can't confirm that. And it doesn't say it in this article, but I'm pretty sure it can open the camera, but it also has touch control, kind of like your screen does, and it'll tell when you're like pushing back and forth. I might just go to the Marcus Brownlee video really quick to show him using it. No, I won't, but I'll keep it shorter. I guess I don't have to go fully into that. But basically, you can have kind of this gesture control like you would in a typical, well, not gesture control like you would in a typical camera, but you have a button up there similar to what it would be like with a camera, and you can control the kind of things like the aperture, shutter speed, and all those type of things. And there's just different menus you can kind of do, like long clicks and short clicks to go through the menus, and you can scroll through them. And that's kind of similar to how a regular camera is. They have these dials. They're not touch sensitive really, at least on most aren't, but traditional like DSLR camera, you have these kind of like scroll thingies. So I think that's super cool. This makes it kind of like more of a replacement for a camera that is kind of familiar, and I think a little easier to use, because like my biggest issue with using my phone as a camera is changing things like that on the fly is not super easy. I usually gotta go into this menu and I gotta open something else up and I gotta scroll through it. It doesn't really save it as default. So it's kind of just tedious. The camera app is just kind of great for doing low effort things. And if I really want to do high effort things, it's a little more tedious than just having my camera. And it's still pretty good results. But the fact that you have this button, which can be a little bit more accessible and what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of intuitive, I guess it is, to use the camera in a more simple way, in a more intuitive way that feels like you're using a camera. I think that's super awesome. I think this kind of leans towards people that are really heavy in using their phone camera for like everything, or people that have been like, oh, phone cameras are getting so good, I might as well just start using a phone for things like taking photos, even if it's like semi-professionally and things like that. It's like, I think this is pretty cool. And I think it's a cool feature that is, at least in my mind, almost like worth being like, oh, I want this phone, you know? Before, I never really would have cared that much. Never would have like been like, oh, I'm definitely going to upgrade the iPhone. I'm still probably not. Still going to probably hold my phone for a while just because smart money choices. But if someone was like, hey, you can get this iPhone upgrade for free and there's no catch or anything like that, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take this phone. I like this phone. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that these buttons are a kind of newer innovation from Apple that we haven't seen in a while? Do you have anything else you like about the newer iPhones coming out? Let me know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.